Hello everybody, welcome back to Simulated Heaven and welcome back to Rfactor 2. What I thought I would do was, the last time I did a DTM race, I did it in DTM Experience by Simbin. So I thought, let's do a little bit of an experiment. I'm doing the exact same race but in Rfactor 2 and I'm using the United Racing Design DTM cars. I'm actually again in the same vehicle, in the Mercedes. This time it's not black. Yeah. Now the interesting thing about this is this United Racing Designs version of the car is actually a paid for DLC. Now this has been quite a contentious issue, and because there's a formation lap, I'm going to start the formation lap and talk about it at the same time. So, I mean, I think what United Designs were maybe thinking was, well, actually, with flight sims, people have been willing to pay for extra airplanes in those flight sims for a long, long time. It's actually quite a relatively lucrative kind of business. So maybe they thought, hey, maybe we can try the same in racing simulator games. And I would say they've actually kind of come up against a mixed response. There are some guys who are really happy and who are willing to pay the money. Sorry, mate. And there are others who are not. Who are kind of complaining and saying that it goes against the ethics of like the modding in these kind of games to actually charge for it and all this. Anyway, I thought I would try it out just to see. First of all, to see, is it worth it to buy a paid for modded vehicle for Rfactor 2, and also how does this DTM experience compare to the actual DTM experience? So I believe the race is starting now. We've had the formation lap, so let's see. Now, first of all, you have to bear in mind this is actually a modded track. It's not an official track, and I think it's quite old, and I think it's quite a crude track. It seems like it was just ported across from Rfactor 1 quite crudely. It's got some annoying bumps. It's really bumpy for some reason, which doesn't appear to be, you know, completely in line with what it should be. Anyway, if you kind of take that out of the equation, how is the car? Now, of course, we're in Rfactor 2, so the handling is pretty amazing. I can really feel what is going on with the car, as well as you would imagine. The competition, the AI is a lot stronger, a lot harder to handle in this than it was in DTM Experience. And I went on the curb too much there. Oh, sorry, mate. One thing that people have said about this car is maybe it's got a bit too much downforce, because it seems quite hard to actually crash this car off the track. That's what people are saying. I don't know. I mean, I've never driven a real DTM car. I don't know what they're like in real life, but it feels really nice to drive. It is quite true that it's quite hard. You know, it has a lot of grip. You know, it has a lot of grip. But I don't know. It's kind of like I said. It's hard for me to say because I've never driven a real DTM car. But I would say the feeling that I am getting from this car is so much more detailed than what I was getting in DTM Experience. The feedback you get in that game feels kind of flat in comparison. And this certainly feels much more of a challenge to me. You know, the AI is really on me. And any small error that I make, they are right on me. And the other thing that's great is they're not being too aggressive. They're not like wiping me out if I slow down, you know. They're trying to overtake me in a much more smoother way than in DTM Experience, which is great. Oh, had a bit of a slide there. So yeah, so my kind of initial conclusions are, if you just want to drive a DTM car and you're not really overly bothered about having the official DTM tracks, you just want to... Whoa! Snap! Okay, I'm going to show you guys a replay. It snapped. Snap, snap. Yeah. So yeah, my kind of thing would be, if you're just interested in racing DTM, and if you don't really care that it's not all the official tracks. I mean, all of the DTM official tracks are available for Rfactor 2, but I would imagine they're all like this track. They're fairly crudely ported across from Rfactor, and therefore they're not exactly the best examples of tracks. Like, you can see that this version of the track is not as nice as the DTM Experience version of the track. So if you want the kind of really good authentic DTM experience with pretty nice kind of graphics, then I would go with the DTM Experience, the official one, the Simbin one. But bear in mind that you're not going to get quite as good feeling in the car when you're actually driving it, but it is more of an authentic DTM experience. If you don't really care about having all the official tracks, you just want to race a cool DTM car, and on other tracks, because obviously you can find other tracks in Rfactor 2 that are really good, really well made for you to race on. If you just want to do that, then yeah, I would say this is a good investment. I mean, they're really well made cars. The modelling is really nice. The interiors are really nice. It handles really well. You know, the AI of this car seems really good. So, all in all, if you already own Rfactor 2, I think it's a slightly cheaper way to experience DTM by buying this United Racing Designs version of the DTM. Yeah, but like I said, as long as you are not after you know, completely all of the official tracks and everything like that. Now, the question is, the other more overriding kind of question, is it worth it buying a car in Rfactor 2? Whoa, there we go. Well, I would say from my own humble experience, I would say that, I mean, the situation I'm in is I'm quite economically stable, so for me it doesn't feel like a lot of money, and for me it feels worth it. Like, this car has been regularly updated, and for me it's really worth it to experience a really well made car. But I would say that there are others out there who are like me, that this kind of money, it doesn't feel like loads of money, and they're more than willing to invest in a car like this. Now, I can understand if you're someone that maybe doesn't have a lot of spare money, and you know, this might seem like a higher value, you know, a bigger expenditure for you, then I can really understand why you might then say that this is not really worth it, because of course there's lots of other things out there that are free. There's lots of other cars out there that are free that you can drive for free. So I think really I would say it's a matter of personal opinion or personal taste. You know, some people are not going to be overly bothered about the extra cost. I mean, I don't see it as being a big issue. I mean, I enjoy experiencing lots of different kinds of car, and obviously if it's a car that you have to pay for, then you would assume the level of support and the updates are going to be a lot more professional than a free car, you know. So for me it's really worth it, but I can understand if other people have other opinions. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any specific questions, please can you leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you. So thanks for watching, and bye bye.